Hey there, my friends. What is good? Derek here from Bomb Socks with another day of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. So today I want to finish up this week with probably one of the most well-known, familiar stories in the Old Testament. It is the story of Daniel in the lion's den, and we're going to keep it relatively simple today. It's actually a fairly simple story, I guess, if you could call it that, in the sense that it's another story, very similar to many others in the Old Testament. It's a story of deliverance, okay? So you get into the story of Daniel. Daniel at this point is an older man. He is with King Darius. Now, Darius was a ruler of the Persians, and the Persians have come in and wiped out the Babylonians at this point. So Jerusalem is a part of that Persian empire right now, and the Persians are the ones that eventually let them go back into Jerusalem and start rebuilding. So Darius is a relatively good man. He's got 3 presidents who are over his affairs to basically just take a little bit of a burden off of him, and one of them is Daniel. And Daniel is such a good man. Again, we've read about him all through this. I love in the Bible dictionary, it says Daniel is the hero of his book, and rightfully so. This is another example of Daniel's heroic adventures, as Daniel is just a good man. Now, these 2 other presidents are jealous of him, and they're trying to find fault with him, and they can't find anything. So what do? They attack what he does really well, and that is his obedience. One of the things he does is he prays. And they knew that he prayed 3 times a day. And so they thought, okay, let's get King Darius to be able to make a decree that anybody who offers any petition to anybody but him, including a god, is going to get thrown in the lion's den, okay? And what's interesting is Darius signs this decree, not really thinking about it, and it is an unalterable decree that even the king cannot change, which I think is very interesting, but that's just kind of the rules back then. But you get into verse number 10. It says, "Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed," Daniel knew, he went into his house, his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem. He's like, we're still going to do this. Kneel down upon his knees 3 times a day, and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime. And of course, the 2 presidents are just like, ha, see, we caught him. And Darius is like, sorry, Daniel. It even says Darius was displeased with himself, sore displeased with himself. And he set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. He fasted that night for Daniel because he knows, it's like, look, Daniel's going into lion's den. I got to do everything I can on my end to be able to help him out. And I love verse 16. "Thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee." There's that word again. Well, after a very long night of fasting and praying as much as Darius was able to, verse 20, "And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said unto Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest continually, able," there's that word again that we talked about earlier, "able to deliver thee from the lions. And then Daniel said unto the king, O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel," which I think is so cool. So you go down to verse number 23, and it says, "The king was exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God." So then King Darius takes the other guys, throws them, their families, everything into the den of lions, and it says the lions had mastery over them. Verse 26, "I make a decree," here's King Darius, "that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, steadfast forever, and his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed." That takes you back to Daniel chapter 2. Those are words exactly from Daniel 2 about this kingdom that is going to roll forth, the stone cut out of the mountain without hands. "His kingdom shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall even be unto the end." Verse 27 is such a cool verse. "He delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven, in earth, who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions." And so one of the things I would recommend doing from this story, again, it's a very familiar story, but one of the things I would recommend doing, go into your scriptures and search the word deliver. As you see, it's mentioned many times in this particular chapter. It's mentioned a lot in all the book of Daniel. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, it is mentioned there as well. He is a God of deliverance, meaning he will take you from one situation and bring you to another situation. Great quote that I came across from Elder Kyle McKay. He said, "I bear witness that Jesus Christ is the great deliverer." It's a great title of Jesus Christ. And in his name, I promise that as you turn to him with real intent and full purpose of heart, he will deliver you from everything that threatens to diminish or destroy your life or joy. That's a testimony that I have as well. I do believe that he is a God of deliverance. This story, this entire book of Daniel, especially when you get into stories like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and Daniel in the lion's den, he is a God of deliverance. And again, he is able to deliver. He's done it before, and he can continue to do it. I know that's true. Thanks so much for watching this week. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for sharing these messages. Thank you for checking out our amazingly comfortable gospel-themed socks at bombsocks.com. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Godspeed. Bye-bye.